Tensions were high in the Palestinian city of Jerusalem Al-Quds as Israeli settlers celebrated occupation of the eastern part of the Holy City. Scuffles erupted when some extremist settlers chanted slogans vowing to burn down the Al-Aqsa Mosque. The Israeli settlers were marching to the Old City as part of an annual parade. Meanwhile, over 200 Israeli settlers stormed the Al-Aqsa Mosque compound under tight Israeli police protection on the eve of the Islamic holy month of Ramadan. Many believe that the move by the Israeli settlers to storm the holy sites was meant to provoke Palestinians.
It can provoke the Palestinians into some sort of an action. Israel will always present this as a celebration of Ramadan being a celebration of violence against Israel. The thing with Israel is to remember that everything it presents is always presented backwards. This can be very easily seen with the Israeli Offence Force, which they label the Israeli Defence Force, which always carries out offensive actions. This is the way Israel plays it. If Israel can provoke the Palestinians into some sort of reaction, it can promote Ramadan as being a violent outburst against Israel, and it's very telling that they would do this on the eve of Ramadan.
The march was controversially planned to coincide with the 49th anniversary of the Israeli occupation of East Al-Quds Old City.
What this really is a celebration of Jewish supremacism, a celebration of Jewish extremism, a celebration of their occupation, and a celebration of Jewish terrorism, and an open statement of Israel's refusal to allow Palestine to exist. Its refusal to recognize Palestine as a state. That's really what this is.
More than 200 Palestinians, including women and children, have lost their lives at the hands of Israeli forces during the tensions that have followed, many of whom have been called terrorists by Israel's incoming Minister of Military Affairs, Avigdor Lieberman. One of Lieberman's preconditions for joining Benjamin Netanyahu's government was that Israel imposes the death penalty for people convicted of terrorism.
Wanting to do with the Palestinians, Israel will never allow a peace process to happen with the Palestinian people, and it will do everything it can to provoke violence with the Palestinian people. We've seen this time and time again. People should really stop believing the theatre that is presented to them and the one-sided media slant that is presented to them. As I said, this is simply a celebration of Israeli supremacism. That's what this march is.
Al-Quds Mosque is highly respected by Muslims. Restrictions imposed by Israelis on Palestinian worshippers visiting the holy site have so far prompted the fury of the Palestinians. But with more than 27 Israeli organizations calling for storming the holy site, and with all those innocent Palestinian women and children being killed by the Israelis, Palestinians are labeled as terrorists, with the death penalty imposed on them.
And it should be very well noted by people that you can actually be arrested in Palestine for holding a Palestinian flag, and yet we see all of these Jews marching through a Palestinian area with holding Jewish flags and provoking the Palestinian people. Of course, they are quite happy to promote this status quo and even escalate it further. This is an attempt to provoke the Palestinians into reaction so that they can be portrayed as terrorists to the world. This is what Israel does all the time. It's a very, very deceptive state, and this is an open provocation.
This could aggravate the already sensitive relationship with the Palestinian Authority, which would lead to an escalation in tensions. The policy of settlement expansion and demolitions, violence and incitement clearly shows that the Oslo Accord is seriously at risk of fading away.